Tell him that, and when we watch film. So why did you do that? I didn't realize how far I was back. Didn't you know that you were setting up on the 10 when you first started? Always got an excuse why he did what he did, and it's just not him. Talking about Caleb, or he's a senior back there with this sophomore, this junior catching a punt. Instead of him coming up and blocking or being the senior leader and says, "Get away, get away, get away," he just sits there and watches him catch it. We catch the punt on the 1 yard line. We get tackled on the 1 yard line. Now, against better competition, against the Racings, the Fairviews, and the teams that we want to compete with, that gets you beat. Those mental mistakes get you beat. And that's one thing, this bunch of kids, we're all going to make mistakes. Me as a coach, I made a couple of mistakes at the end of the game. Instead of using the wristband, I was calling my quarterback over there, and we was trying to milk the clock. And we got 2 delayed games on us. That's my mistake. I got to learn from that. But, when people come up and tell me, say, "Why do you do that?" That's a good point. I learned from it. But these kids here, they've always got an excuse for their failure or their mistake. And until they can overcome that, we're going to beat the people we're supposed to beat. But we're not going to beat nobody that's pretty good.
How defense look? In your opinion, how's our defense looking right now, Coach?
We still gave up 20 points. We still gave up, 2 touchdown passes the other night, and gave up a run that was just being honored. Things that we scouted. They had one receiver that they was going to go to, number 10. We put our best player on him. We put Caleb on him. He scored Caleb for 2 touchdowns. Then we're running they're running a jet sweep. We've prepared for it all week long. When number 10 comes in motion, he's getting the ball on a jet sweep. That's what you got to do. We didn't react. It's just a good thing that we're averaging 30, 40 points a game, because we're also giving up a lot on defense. Defense is nowhere near where you need to be. It's always saying offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships. So we're going to sell a hell of a lot of tickets, but we may not win a championship until we learn how to play defense.
Preparing for this week, we doing anything special to get ready?
No, we're going to keep doing what we do. We worked harder this week on our, we have been. We started that yesterday. We're going to be working harder this week on our passing game. We've got to get Charlie in a better rhythm. And we've got to develop some people out there to catch, because, everybody knows that we're going to run the ball. And against your better competition, they're going to load the box. They're going to put 8, 9, 10, 11 guys up in the box, and it's going to be harder to run the ball. And so we got to work on our passing game. So we're going to concentrate on that. On defense, just try to understand our job assignments a little bit better.
Now, when y'all went back to watch the film, and I know that it was a win, and like you said, there were some critical things that happened. Overall, how did the team feel when they actually watched themselves play last week? Did they at least try to see some of the mistakes you all were showing up?
Yeah, I think they did. And they just, this is a very much prideful kids, I guess you could say. They don't want to mention mistakes, but yeah, they take them, they learn. They'll get better from it. They are intelligent kids and good kids. So they'll take it. They'll learn from it. They're trying to do what we want them to do.
All right, working on special teams. Anything we learned from last week's game? Where should we improve? I know you look at each. I know you like to look at the season as a whole at the end, but looking game to game, especially just in the start here. Special teams improving, or do you see improvement?
Special teams has been a surprise to me, especially our kickoff teams. Austin's kicking the ball down there great, and the guys that's on there's 10 other guys on there. They're getting downfield and covering. We haven't given up a long touchdown run yet. Now we play a team this week in Berea that they've already ran back 3 kickoffs. So they're going to be tested this week. But just a mental mistake the other night at catching the punt on the 1 yard line, and against Fleming County Charlie shanking a couple out of bounds here, and maybe a net 5 yard punt. They're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good, and I'm pleased with my special teams. They can get better, but I'm pleased with them.
I know over the course of the show, we've always I've asked you about keeping the team hydrated, fighting the weather. It's been hot. Last week, it was smoldering heat up there. Now we're going to have to deal with the elements. How do you think our Jackets are going to do with a wet ball, maybe some rain? Because it's going to be cold this week. But we could have some rain during the game Friday night. How do you think our Jackets are going to do?
You never know, man. We have a hard time sometimes on the ball when it's dry. But think about it, when you're playing in that kind of weather, it's the same for your opponent. It is for you. So it's going to be that way for both teams Friday night. Playing a little cooler weather. When it gets a little cooler, though, you can do a little bit more because the heat is not wearing them out so much.
Looking toward Friday, you all have been scouting out the film and at least know how they're gonna react and what we're gonna have to do to play against them.
Berea's got a good team, guys. They're 1-2, and we beat them here pretty handily last year, 56-6, I think it was. But we're not the same team we were last year. Berea's not the same team they were last year. And last year it's the best football game we played in several years here last year when we were clicking on all cylinders, defensively, offensively. We were looking pretty dang good at that time. That's when we were pretty healthy. But like I said, that's last year's game. This is differently. Berea is a little bit more hungry. Got a new coach. They're playing a little bit harder. They're more aggressive on defense. They got some skilled people. Like I said before, they've already run back 3 kickoffs for a touchdown. They got an experienced quarterback. They got a big line. Do I think they're better than Fleming County? No. To me, Fleming County's got a lot of talent over there, and we got lucky to beat them. Do I think Berea's better than West Carter and Lewis County? Yeah, I do. I think Berea is good, if not better, than the 2 out of 3 opponents we played. So I think it's going to be a knockout drag out over there. It's going to be a good game.
That being said, Coach, what do you see is going to be the biggest struggle that we're going to have against Berea? I mean, yeah, Berea's got they got a quarterback this season, but I mean, how's our defense going to stack up against their offense?
So far, we haven't stacked up nobody's yet. But we're getting better. We give up a lot of points to Lewis County in the second half. Give up a lot of points to Fleming. We only give up 20. We're getting better. They're a mirror of us. And one thing that I think that we are, when a team wants to pass a lot on us and spread it, they take advantage of our weakness. But when you want to line up inside the tackles and play smash mouth football, we're pretty dang good. We've always been anyway. Used to be here, if you wanted to run against us, you was going to have a hard time. How you used to be able to beat us in the past and over several years is be able to throw the ball, because that's when the athletic ability takes over and speed takes over. Something that, Caleb's got some speed, but the rest of the team, we're not what you call speed demons. But you want to play smash mouth football around here, we're pretty dang good.
Yeah, I know you all do. You did a lot in the weight room this year. You're trying to bulk up out there, and your line, I would say they're defensive to the point that you want them to be at least. They're just showing that, I think, is going to be the big deal.
The offensive line is probably most, if you want to look at MVPs, earlier MVP, and a lot of those guys were starters from last year, Noah Mosley, Chris Morgan got a lot of playing time last year as a junior. John Lee Allison, she was out last week, and we replaced him with a freshman. And we got a freshman that's coming on. Randy Hayes got his first start last week, did a pretty dang good job. Caleb Craft, got his first start last week as a sophomore playing center. We got a long ways to go, but we only had 1 fumble snap. So, with those guys starting to come on with the Chris and John Lee and Nolan and Ethan that are experienced, we're starting to get a little bit more depth on our offensive line. But our offensive line and defensive line, probably to me, are the MVPs of this team. I mean, without them guys, and they're playing pretty dang good.
Now, looking at our disabled list right now, I know John Lee was out last game, but Ethan, I believe Ethan's the only one we still have out right now. Is that right, Coach? Ethan Smith?
Ethan Smith, he goes back today to get reevaluated, but he's probably going to sit out another week, to make sure it's good. That's something you don't fool with his knee. John Lee just had a stinger. He might not have could win against West Carter and decided to take it easy, get 1 more week of rest is better than none. So hopefully he'll be back this week. But with shoulder injury, once it's tender, it's going to be tender all year. But I'm very happy with my line.
All right, Coach, just wrapping everything up and looking back toward this week's game. If we can get our defense where it needs to be, and we can run the ball where we need to be. Get Charbian, get him so he's running right toward where he needs to be. You see us coming out from that W this week?
It's going to be, it's there, but we're going to have to work for it. We're going to have to show up and play. It's just not, guys, we're just not overwhelmed with talent. When we can just say, yeah, guys, I'm playing on my JV playing second half, and then they're in a game on our schedules. We'll be like, it is going to be a nail biter down the wire every week. We're not a team to come and watch if you got a weak heart, because we're going to make you maybe go into nervous breakdown. So.
Thanks, Coach, for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
I'd like to remind you that you can always check out this show every Thursday on KNGNetwork.com. You can also check out football games live as they happen on KNGNetwork.com every Friday night. We host football games from both Bath County and Nicholas County on our website where you can watch. And remember, this week you can be able to watch Bath County on the road as they go ahead and take on a big competitor this week at KNGNetwork.com. I'd like to go ahead and thank our sponsors. We have Nick Pope Insurance Agency in Paris, Webb's Tire and Sales and Service in Judy, where J.D. Webb says if you're not buying from him, you're spending way too much. Of course, both Apple Market locations here in Carlisle and Johnson Mathers Nursing Home. For KNGNetwork.com, I'm Philip Smith, and you have a great day.